Good morning to all. Today let us discuss about asexual method of budding, fragmentation and regeneration. First let us start with budding. Normally the buds are termed as an outgrowth of the parent body, so most of the time which we talk of when the buds are outside. There are two types of buds are seen in animals. One is exogenous budding and another one is endogenous budding. First let us start with exogenous budding. Here the buds are formed on the outer surface of the parent body is called exogenous budding. This is seen in Hydra. Look at this picture. Here you can able to see the tiny outgrowth. This tiny outgrowth is called bud and the process is known as budding. In the initial stage it is smaller in size. It does not have any tentacles, but it start growing. It's looking for the parent in every aspect but for the size. So this tiny bud is now growing to look like a parent body. So it has its own tentacle and everything. It is called as baby hydra, which is growing on the parent body. Once it will survive on its own, it detaches from the parent body. So we are calling them exogenous budding. This is seen in Hydra. Next one is endogenous budding. Endo means inside. Here the buds are formed inside the body is known as endogenous budding. This is seen in Noctiluca. Look at this picture. Here you can able to see many internal buds are here. These buds, each buds develop into young Noctiluca species we would not see from the outside. So that we are calling them as a endogenous budding. This is seen in Noctiluca species. Each buds develop into young Noctiluca species. Next one is gemule formation. This is seen in sponges, mainly in the freshwater sponges. Look at this picture. Here you can able to see number of internal buds are here. These buds are round in shape. These round shape internal buds are called as gemule and the process is known as a gemule formation. During unfavorable condition, the sponges disintegrate or liberated. When the condition becomes favorable, the gemule begins to catch and new sponges are formed or produced. What has happened is the round-like internal buds is called gemule. The process is known as a gemule formation. Now let us talk about fragmentation. Fragmentation means the parent body breaks into several fragments and each fragment has the potential to develop into a new individual. This is called as fragmentation. This is otherwise called as fetal laceration. Fetal means foot and the laceration means cutting. In our book have been given two organisms as the example of fragmentation. One is sea anemone, the another one is tapeworm. Look at this picture. Here you can able to see the parent sea anemone. When it moves from one location to another, either accidentally or due to an environmental factor, it leaves from the basal part. This basal part is known as fetal disc. Here you can able to see the fetal disc. When the fetal disc detaches from the parent body, it develops into a new sea anemone. When the fetal disc undergoes many lobes are formed, each lobes develops into a new sea anemones are formed. The another example is tapeworm. This is the structure of tapeworm. Tapeworm has three regions. One is anterior end, this is the middle region. This is the posterior end or posterior region. Immature proglatids are present in the neck region. Anterior region are otherwise known as neck region. Immature proglatids are present in this region, whereas the middle region, mature proglatids are present here. In the posterior region, a ripe or gravid proglatids are here. Posterior region, either single or in groups, this process is known as apolysis. Whenever the ripe proglatids cut off from the posterior end, the new proglatids are formed in the neck regions. When the ripe proglatids contains many embryos, when the embryos enter into the pig, so Pig is the secondary host of the tapeworm. Human is the primary host of the tapeworm. So these two organisms are the example of morphollaxis. Now let us discuss about regeneration. Regeneration is the process in which if an organism is cut into several fragments, each fragment regrows to the original parent body. This is called regeneration. Regeneration was first studied in Hydra by Abraham Tremblay in the year 1740. Regeneration is further classified into two types. One is morphollaxis and another one is epimorphosis. First, let us start with morphollaxis. How can we define morphollaxis? The entire parent body is cut into many region or portion. Each region has the ability to regrow the remaining part, so that we call this morphollaxis. Look at this picture. This is the parent hydra. This is cut into three regions. One is the head region, this one is the tail region, this part is the middle region. If the head region is cut from the parent body, then the remaining tail part is regenerated and develop into new organisms. Then the tail region is cut from the parent body, then the remaining head region is regenerated and develop into young hydra. Even the middle part is cut from the parent body. The middle part has the ability to regenerate both the head and tail region to adult individuals and develop into a parent. So what has happened in morphollaxis? In hydra, all the parts will grow and regenerate. The last part develop into a whole new individuals. The same way takes place in the planaria and starfish. Now let us talk about epimorphosis. In this type, the last body parts is regenerated. Whatever the body parts which is lost, it can be regenerated, and this type of replacement what we call as epimorphosis. Epimorphosis is divided into two types. One is reparative regeneration and another one is restorative regeneration. In reparative regeneration, only certain damaged tissues can be regenerated. The best example of reparative regeneration is human liver. Look at this picture. Here you can able to see the damaged part of the human liver. So our liver tissues has the ability to regenerate and produce new cells when it gets damaged, and it does not have the original shape but it has a original size. Whereas in restorative regeneration, the cut off body parts can be regenerated. This is called as restorative regeneration. The best example is lizard. If the lizard cut its tail, then new tail will be growing for the lizard. In the same way takes place by starfish. From this topic we would expect some important questions. Let us discuss one by one. First one is define apolysis. In tapeworm, the rib proglatids cut off from the posterior end, either single or in group. This process is known as apolysis. Next one is explain about budding and its type. The external tiny outgrowth is called as buds and the process is known as budding. There are two types of budding are seen in animals. One is exogenous budding and another one is endogenous budding. In exogenous budding, the example is hydra, whereas in endogenous budding, the example is noctiluca. The third one is define gemule formation. A round-like internal structure formed inside the body of sponges. This round-like structure is called gemule and the process is called gemule formation. Fourth one is what is fragmentation. The parent body breaks into several fragments and each fragment has the potential to develop into a new organisms. Next one is difference between reparative regeneration and restorative regeneration. In reparative regeneration, only certain damaged tissues can be regenerated, Whereas in restorative regeneration, the cut off body parts can be regenerated. The best example of reparative regeneration is human liver, and the restorative regeneration is tail of lizard and arm of starfish. Thank you.